Well, it's time to debunk another common 40k misconception. Let's talk about Saturnine Terminators, or more specifically, what aren't Saturnine Terminators. So Saturnine armor is a pattern of Terminator armor, and that's pretty much it. There is very little lore regarding Saturnine armor, aside from a name and the fact that it's functionally identical to Indomitus armor. However, because of the Horus Heresy model range's propensity for taking old Rogue Trader designs and effectively retconning them into being older pieces of Imperial tech, like with the old Rogue Trader Land Raider being retconned into the Land Raider Proteus, a lot of people have come to the conclusion that Saturnine Terminator armor must be referring to an old Rogue Trader Terminator design, specifically that of the one with the gargantuan shoulder pads. However, despite how popular this misconception has become throughout the fandom, it is just that, a misconception. We don't even have a visual representation as to how Saturnine Terminator armor even looked, as in we've never had a picture of some Terminator armor with a caption saying, "This is Saturnine armor." In fact, the Terminator armor with the massive shoulder pads, which I shall henceforth refer to as shouldinator armor, has only officially appeared in fiction outside of Rogue Trader once, at least from what I could find, and that's in the Horus Heresy short story Deeds Endure. Now, these suits of armor are never referred to as being Saturnine armor at any point during the story. In fact, the actual pattern of Terminator armor is never explicitly stated, but we do know a few things about this shouldinator armor. The first of which is that it was developed by Vulcan, the Primarch of the Salamanders, prior to the events of the Isstvan V Dropsite Massacre, and that according to the Iron Hand Centurion Kratos, it is a pattern of Terminator armor that has not been seen for a very long time. So why are these facts significant, you may ask? Well, according to the 2nd edition Horus Heresy rulebook, in a little section detailing the different types of power armor, it has a little timeline detailing as to when each suit of power armor was created, along with a few suits of Terminator armor. Now, according to this timeline, Saturnine Terminator armor wouldn't be developed until midway through the Age of Darkness, the Age of Darkness being the time frame when the Horus Heresy takes place, with the Great Crusade being referred to as the Age of Imperium. Now, because the shouldinator suits developed by Vulcan were developed prior to the events of the Dropsite Massacre, and in turn prior to the events of the Horus Heresy, these shouldinator suits simply can't be Saturnine suits because the time frame doesn't add up. Now, some of you may say that these suits that Vulcan had were merely prototypes. Okay, fair enough, but the problem with this argument is that, according to this timeline, the Mark VI Corvus pattern of power armor was stated to have prototypes developed during the events of the Great Crusade, but then saw widespread release during the Siege of Terra. There is nothing like this stated for Saturnine armor, which implies that the prototypes for Saturnine armor were done relatively close to the manufacturing and issue dates, which, again according to the Horus Heresy 2nd edition rulebook, was midway through the Horus Heresy itself, not during the events of the Great Crusade. Now, because in the story Deeds Endure the shouldinator armor was never explicitly named, a few people, myself included, have gone onto Twitter to ask the author of the story, Gav Thorpe, just what exactly this pattern of Terminator armor is called. And his response? Nocturne pattern. So in conclusion, while Saturnine armor is indeed a canon suit of Terminator armor, the name does not belong to the, for lack of a better term, shouldinator armor. That's something completely different. So there you go. The next time someone talks about Saturnine Terminator armor, you can point them towards this video. Until next time, this has been Remleiz from 40k Theories, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye!